Using the experience I have gained over the years, allow me to teach you how to buy land in Kenya without getting scammed. Now, this is something I believe that each and every one of you should know at this time and age. And if you don't know, all I ask is you give me 10 minutes of your time and I will teach you how you can legally buy land in Kenya while preventing yourself from losing your hard-earned millions. With a few tips I will be sharing, you can easily avoid falling into the biggest traps people fall into while buying land. In this episode of Learn the Law with Kalimbo, I will guide you on the steps you can take to never lose your land, your legacy, or your peace of mind. And I will use a real life example to show you how ignorance can lead to your downfall. Now, this episode is based on a true story that happened in Kakamega County, where someone bought a plot from a seller he really trusted. Having known the seller for a long period of time, the buyer went ahead and bought the land from the seller without having carried out a search on the property. The seller had only shown him the title deed with the seller's name on it. So, in the buyer's eyes, everything seemed clean. The buyer made an offer. The seller accepted his offer. The buyer paid the buying price and took possession of the plot. After buying the property, the buyer spent millions building a house on it. Believing he has struck a good deal, the buyer also set up a perimeter wall and planted trees, making the place as beautiful as your imagination can think. 3 years later, something unexpected happened. A stranger showed up with his own title deed of the same plot, claiming to be the real owner. It turned out it was true. Now, a few years earlier, this piece of land had already been sold to this stranger before it was resold to the buyer. Unaware of all the previous transactions, and because of failing to carry out a search to confirm the status of the land, the unsuspecting buyer had been conned by the same person he trusted as a friend. His friend the seller had made a fool out of him by selling this land to a couple of people before him. Now, when the buyer noticed he had no land, he went to court to protect his rights and the ownership of the land. Unfortunately, not even the court of law could help him. But why do I say so? And why couldn't the law help him at this point? After 7 years in court, the court delivered its judgment. Relying on the Land Registration Act of 2012, the Land Act, and Article 40 of the Kenyan Constitution on rights to property, the court ruled that just because a seller has a title with their name on it, it does not mean that they are the owners or have a right to sell the land. The court also ruled that before buying land, one must carry out a full land search, a survey, and do a site visit before paying for the land. The court also ruled that failure to carry out a proper search leaves you with no legal remedy except for cancelling the contract, filing a suit for damages, or asking for a refund. But it was not all. The court further went ahead and ruled that double sales are real and they happen where a couple of people buy the same land. But normally, the first in time, meaning the first buyer who bought the property, usually wins. So, in a nutshell, the buyer had lost both money, 7 years in court, and land because of failing to do due diligence. Not even the law or the court could help him at this point. The saddest thing is the advocates also assisted eating his money. Now that you know the story of the Kakamega man, allow me to show you how you can save yourself and your investments in real life. Now, let's say you want to buy land in Ruai, or Mtwapa, or Mombasa, or better yet, Matumbi. What steps can you take to protect yourself? If this is the question you have been asking yourself, now here is the solution. The first step is to get an advocate. Now, avoid taking your cousin or friend. Get a professional to assist you when buying land. The second step is to do an official search at the land registry to know if the land is in charge or disputed, or has any caveat or easements or restrictions, and also if the title and the owner of the land are genuine. The third step is, while still at the land registry, ask for a mutation form or a green card to see the history of the land. Step 4 is get a licensed surveyor to visit the land, confirm the beacons, and confirm the physical boundaries. The next thing you must do is personally visit the land and talk with the neighbors or the local authorities like the Mzwamta or the chief to know more about the land, its owners, and its history, if any. The next step is insist on signing a sale agreement before an advocate. And when going to the advocate, make sure you carry your IDs, passport photos, and KRA PIN for the purpose of registration. Another step you must take is make sure you sign a transfer and have the transfer registered at the land registry. At all times, avoid doing your agreements under a mango tree or a coconut tree or any other tree you might want to think of. Always use an advocate while doing land transaction. And lastly, here's another tip. Never rush into buying property. Anyone who rushes you into buying something hastily or pressures you into doing something is hiding something from you. Now, always be careful. Why do these steps matter to you and to everyone watching this video? Here is why they do. If you follow these steps, you will not lose millions. You will not use land. You will not lose your family, wife, children, and neither will you lose your peace of mind. Think of the Kakamega man. He lost everything because of ignorance. He was in court for 7 years and still lost. Advocates ate his remaining savings as legal fees, forcing him to move back to his parents' home. This almost broke his marriage. Had he known what I'm telling you today, he could have saved his future, his legacy, his land, and his money. Now, these videos are meant to teach you, guide you, and protect you. So, the next time someone tells you, "Hii shamba iko sawa," just smile and say, "Let my advocate handle that." If you've ever dreamt of owning land, building a home, or leaving something for your kids, use this video and do it the right way. And if you love this video, please share it with your families, WhatsApp groups, socials, subscribe, and leave a comment on one topic you want me to cover next. Remember, we are here not to just talk about the law. These episodes are meant to protect your dreams, interests, future, and legacy. Until next time, stay sharp, stay safe, stay woke, and stay legal. Kindly do not forget to subscribe because in the next episode, we will explain in detail why the 7 steps are critical when purchasing land and why you should comply with them. I'm sure you don't want to miss that, so hit the notification button and the subscribe button as well. Thanks for watching and see you on the next video.